Ronaldo TV. It's Champions League. It's back. Well, it's not back the way we wanted tonight. After an early kick-off in Istanbul, I'm joined with my usual brother from another mother, the Norwegian Red. Alred, how you doing, mate? Good evening.
Good evening. I'm pissed, but what's new?
Well, as we spoke on the stream before, when the draw was made, and we give our predictions for the last 16 and who was going through and who what, and I said I didn't think we'd beat Galatasaray, and I'm going to stick to that because I don't think we will, even though we lost 1-0 tonight, which we'll come on to in a minute. I don't think we deserve to go any further from what I've seen tonight, to be honest with you. But I'm going to let you kick off the proceedings tonight, mate, and give me your thoughts on the game, on where it went wrong, why it went wrong, and what needs to change for the second leg if we're going to go through.
In all fairness, I think the lineup was the best we could muster, to be honest. Gakpo on the bench, Wirtz in, even though it's not his favorite position. And that's the options that Slot has. We've seen this all season long. The tactical dispositions. I mean, sorry, he made substitutions even earlier now than he usually does. Now, so that's kind of changed. But the style of play, the way we play, the way we try to build up. We tried a few more long crosses, long balls now to instead of playing out from the back all the time, and I like that. You have to mix it up a little bit, be a little bit more unpredictable. But we have no pace, we have no precision still. The way we're marking on a defensive set piece is outrageous. I mean, you put McAllister to guard Osimhen. I mean, come on. It was a good set piece, so no worries about that. But the way we conduct ourselves and who's marking who is just stupid. We still can't do anything ourselves. And Atletico scored a goal.
Yeah, 1-0 up, 5 minutes in, 1-0 up already.
But I think my biggest issue is the tactical disposition, the way we try to play football. The players don't believe in it anymore, and the manager needs to go. And we can talk about this till pigs can fly, but he has to go. He has no idea what to do as a plan B, C, D, E, or whatever. And I'm tired of it. I started to look a little bit about the play last game, and I started to see the same again. And we play a long ball, and it goes to Hugo Ekitike. Last time it was Gakpo, but it goes to Hugo. He meets at around the halfway line, and then he gives the ball back, a short pass back, and that's okay. But then he doesn't turn and run. There is no. We don't know what the fuck we're doing, and I'm tired of it. I'll see if I can. Yeah, we are, Ben.
Yeah.
You got your sippy cup there, Ben?
I agree with what you said there, because I mean, to be fair, we started off pretty decent
because they were shit.
And I'm thinking, all right, okay, decent start for a change. I wasn't surprised by the atmosphere whatsoever, because it's always the same in Istanbul. Galatasaray have not lost at home since 1977, and you can see why. But we had a decent start, and then the first corner they get, what the fuck were we thinking about?
Yeah.
The defensive organisation just went completely out the window. Now, who'd you blame for that? I blame Virgil van Dijk. He's your captain.
Yeah, but I think that's a tactical disposition from the coaching staff, because
It's shocking.
but we've seen other games where we play Newcastle and we see Kirkes man marking Burn. I mean, he's twice his size.
Yeah.
So and I see Hugo is always on the first post to clear it out, and I mean, it doesn't look like we're paying attention to who's good at
No.
heading the ball.
I mean, the thing is, they can't even keep possession of the ball defensively and midfield tonight. We were all over the place, and it was 35 minutes before we got our first corner.
Wasn't it longer?
35 minutes before we had our first corner, right? And they can't play a simple pass.
No,
we are so disorganised. It beggars belief. Now, if ever, for me, before I jump into Ben, if ever there's a team showing that they don't trust the head coach, they don't believe in the tactics, the system he's playing, and what he wants them to do. If ever a game's proved that, it was this tonight. It wasn't the league defeat to Wolves in the league, And if I was talking to myself before you came on earlier, I was making myself a brew, and I said to myself, next week, because there's no Galatasaray fans there, if I was the coach of Galatasaray, I would just say, right, lads, listen, we're 1-0 up, no problem. 11 men behind the ball, break us down. I would frustrate the fuck out of Liverpool next week, and I'd kick anything what moved. I wouldn't give a shit. And if they score early on, it's game over. But Ben, I mean,
I just want to, before we go to Ben, I just want to say Galatasaray didn't play a good game today.
No,
they just did just enough.
But that's all you need.
It was identical to the game in October. We start well, they score, and then it kind of fizzles out.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, what are your what's your honest opinion after tonight? After thoughts? I mean, I know you Alred and Deck predicted we beat Galatasaray, and I said we wouldn't. Have you changed your opinion, or do you still think we'll go through?
I still think we'll go through.
Still one game left, although, and it's a home again without away fans. So it's only half time, brother.
Yeah, but you're convinced of watching that tonight we're going to go through?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Because football doesn't, my opinion, doesn't change after 90 minutes. But
we've been watching this all season.
But Galatasaray, I'm not about Galatasaray, not Liverpool. We know we're going to get at Liverpool. Just a couple of weeks ago, I watched Galatasaray get completely dominated by 10 men Juve away from home. They are not a good team away from home, and we will capitalise on that. Hugo Ekitike is not going to miss 3 big chances in the same game again next week.
Yes, he is.
I hope
he's not, because this isn't Darwin Núñez we're talking about.
Well, it's close.
No, it's not.
As long as he doesn't get a header, he can score.
The most frustrating thing for me, though, with us at the minute, I mean, I don't know what happened to Ibu Konate tonight, but he was horrendous. He was horrific tonight.
I've said it for a long time. I said it for a long time with Konate. He cannot do it in intense atmospheres.
I think he did a decent first half, but the last 20 minutes it just turned off.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's not hard to have a good first half. So I mean, most of the attacking stuff was us. Other than their goal, what did they do in the first half?
Yeah, but he wasn't alone being shit in the back. I mean, Virgil van Dijk had his moment as well.
Yeah.
The only player that can walk out of Rams Park right now with the head held high is Mamardashvili.
Yeah, he had a decent game between the sticks. To be fair, if it wasn't for Mamardashvili, it could have been 2 or 3 quite easily.
Also, how did the goal get disallowed? I was so confused.
Our goal.
No, their goal.
Well, he was offside. That's why it was.
He was offside and got in the way, so we couldn't attack the ball and run down the ball. So he interfered with the play. That's why it was called offside, because he affected the game.
And I think Liverpool's goal should have actually stood, because If you watch it in slow motion, it comes off Van Dijk's heel. Then it's the goalkeeper and goes in.
No,
it come off the goalkeeper last, so the goal should have stood. Even
the rule is if it touches a hand, it can't be a goal.
If you watch, there's about 3 or 4 different angles, and if you watch it back, it actually should have stood. So it was a poor decision.
No, it hits Konate's arm. It hits Konate's arm.
The rule is the ball cannot go directly in off an arm. If it goes in directly off an arm, then it has to be ruled out. But it didn't. You'll agree. But the ball, it goes off Konate's arm, then it goes off like one of the Galatasaray players, I think it was Osimhen. Then it goes off Van Dijk's heel. Then it goes off the goalkeeper's backside, and then it goes off another Galatasaray player in it. So technically, Konate was not the last touch.
No, it should have stood.
I did say it shouldn't have stood either. Like Harold, off initial, off first glance, but then I saw like 2 other angles, and I was like, okay,
the last player it touched was the goalkeeper. Atletico have just gone 2 up. 13 minutes played.
Yeah, that's going to be a bloodbath. Look, I'll tell you what, though.
I mean, I know it's nothing to do with us, and it's the last 16. I've been watching a podcast about it today. Some Tottenham fans have said this is a game they don't want, but unless they sack the guy who's in charge now, then they're going down. That they can't see where they're going to get a result. Yeah, Griezmann's just scored, but looking at Liverpool, we had 15 shots and 6 on target. They had 15 and 4 on target, and they scored with the first corner.
It just comes down to stupid ideas in set pieces. Because I don't know why we always have our smallest player marking the best jumper in the opposition team.
I mean, I was watching the game and I was asking myself, what have you been doing in training all week? What have they been working on? Because whatever they've been doing is clearly not working.
Yeah, but this is my issue with the Arne Slot and the squad, because it doesn't look like they have a plan. It doesn't look like they can predict a game, if you understand what I'm saying. It's like they can't understand how. Oh, I think this game is going to be like that. It's just stupid. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, Ben, I think you're right. It's 3-0.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh yeah,
3-0.
Dear me.
Yeah, I've been seeing loads of people going at all the players, and rightly so, by the way. They all deserve to be absolutely hounded for what they've just put up for 90 minutes. But at the same time, why is no one going into the slot? If that many players who, before they came to Liverpool, were considered good talents or players that were part of the league-winning squad, why are all these players now underperforming?
But because he is trying to. For me, it looks like he's trying to communicate his idea, his philosophy or style of play or whatever it is, and he can't. He can't make them understand or make them play the way he wants, either because he can't communicate or because it's stupid what he's trying to teach them.
If you cast your mind back, lads, can you remember when we did a stream and we all said the players have down tools in the Slots dressing room? I don't think anything's changed since then, to be honest. I don't know what you think, Ben and Harold.
I've been saying that he's not got the trust of the dressing room since October. It was after the United game I said that. I got hounded for it, but I stood by him and I still stand by it.
I think that is the only logical solution to explain so consistent poor performing. I mean, because if you're not 100% fit or whatever it is, and you have a little injuries, it will go more up and more down. You will have bigger peaks than we have, and we will when we're playing good, we would be a lot better than we are. I mean, the games we win and the games we lose, they shit all the way through, except maybe 10 minutes here and 5 minutes there. And the only reason I can get out of that is what Ben says. they don't believe in him and they've given him up, or they don't understand him. It's one of them.
I mean, I agree. I agree with what you're saying, that they've lost. They don't trust him anymore. The trust has gone, that's for sure. But to actually go out there in a Champions League game and represent Liverpool, and the fans travel over to Istanbul, and then you go and perform like that, that's unforgivable. It's unacceptable.
I have no words. I mean, we've talked about this a lot, all three of us, and you and I talked about it before the stream. Although I'm just tired of this season. I want it to be over, and I'm sick of it, to be honest.
I mean, as I said to Errol, Ben, before we went live, I'm finding it very, very difficult to get up for Liverpool games now. I'm finding them really hard to watch. I don't know what you think, Ben.
I'm always going to be excited to watch Liverpool. I just that excitement will never die, and it's impossible. Unfortunately, I've got Stockholm syndrome, as they would. Yeah.
But me and Aldo are a little bit older, and we remember the dark ages on the 90s and early 2000s, and even then, we played better than we do now. And that's the thing. Even though we were shit and had bad players, we performed better than this.
But you know what's crazy about all this? Ernie Slott's statistics now are actually worse than Roy Hodgson's.
Yeah.
And he was only there for 6 months.
And we've talked about this as well, and I made a TikTok video about it, and this is the rumors. I don't know what it is all about, but the rumors is that, of course, it will come in the summer if we don't win the Champions League or something like that.
What do we need anyhow?
Sorry?
We're not, any Liverpool fan that says number 7's coming home, you need to go and see your doctor, because you're seeing things, you're delusional.
It's a case of winning the Champions League, then you might as well just hire him now and let him use the rest of the season.
But that's my point. I mean, if the club has made this decision and then doing a United and wait for the Erik ten Hag moment at the end of the season, that's just stupid. I mean, I hope the club hasn't made a decision, because if they have, and this is the way they do it, they can fuck off.
Can I just point out, by the way, that ref, not to excuse the performance was embarrassing, but that ref today was not good.
No, he was very poor, very poor.
Yeah,
Galatasaray was getting away with murder whilst our players were going near theirs and getting booked. That booking was a joke. It's the same as the pen in October. You just you caught his race a little bit, booking.
There was no doubt about that. He's been told that they had so many players in danger of missing the next game because of a yellow. So he knew that, and you saw that in his refereeing, without a doubt. And as you say, it's no excuse for our performance, but it was very obvious that he had this in his head when situation came up.
I guess the one good thing is Galatasaray's best defender, Davinson Sanchez, will play next week. He caught a yellow card.
Yeah. He got a yellow card.
And I was talking to some people who watched Galatasaray after the game, and they were saying that losing him is just as big as losing Osimhen. That's how big of a loss Sanchez will be for Galatasaray next week.
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter, because we're not going to create anything anyway. I mean, we are still shit, even though they are good or bad. Yeah,
4-0. Oh dear. And the thing is as well, the amount of free headers we kept giving away tonight was unbelievable.
Oh. And that is a worry as well, because you said it, although what have we been using the last week to practice on? And when you see the quality of our crosses or headings or passes or anything like that, I don't understand that these are professional football players.
Sorry for laughing, but it's just Sean Eagle Tudor telling the Spurs players to calm down. They're 4-0 down.
Yeah.
3-0 to Bayern as well, by the way.
Yeah.
It's what?
3-0 Bayern versus Atlanta. Atlanta.
I was looking. I was looking.
You're ahead of me.
I was looking at the draw again this afternoon, and for me, I think that they're the most dangerous team in it, Bayern Munich.
At the minute, yeah, to Bayern.
They really are.
It just depends on the defense, though, because I know, like, up at Meccano, he's prone to a big mistake on the big stage.
So you're not saying that we are the most dangerous team in the tournament?
We're not, by far from it.
We're the most dangerous team to watch because that was painful what I just watched.
Well, we're the most boring team to watch. I don't know about most dangerous.
Yeah, well, we are dangerous. We're dangerous for my mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that's shaky already from the get-go, so it doesn't really help anything.
Yeah, I mean.
Also, in the next week, what I want to see, I want to see Sobo in the pivots. I'm sick of Sobo in advanced positions. It's clear he's a pivot player.
Sorry,
I mean, the only thing Garner Slot did right tonight was do his substitutions earlier and take Salah off, because Salah did nothing again tonight. He was non-existent. But like I've said before, we're playing with 10 men every time he takes a back.
But sorry, Ben.
One thing, I know you'll both be surprised to hear this, but I was actually pleasantly surprised by Cody Gakpo's cameo. I thought he did it right.
Yeah, but you've always said he's been better when he's coming on.
Was it his cameo or the Plasticast cameo? Which one was it?
Gakpo's cameo.
But my issue is not. I mean, I've stated this many times, and I will state it many times more. But for me, it's not. I mean, we all can agree that Salah is not what he used to be, and Gakpo is not what he should be, or whatever. But for me, it still looks like the way we are set up to play. We are set up to play to get to the wingers, and they are going to cut in. That's the tactical disposition that we have. Now, the big issue is we don't have anyone coming to help the wingers. We don't have anybody to come overlap. That means it's always 2 against 1.
This is why I don't want to see Frimpong on the wing, because I think it should be Salah and Frimpong. That's the best way.
Yeah, but it doesn't help. It doesn't help if we have Salah and Frimpong, as long as Frimpong is told not to do the overlap. And that is the reason we have issues with the wing. And that means, in my opinion, it doesn't matter who we put there. We will still play the same stupid way of setting up. But again, I would like to see Salah on the right left wing. I don't know who this is, but do you guys know who that is? How's the new door?
All right, how's the new door? Yeah, it's very nice. We've had a new door. We've had a new back door fitted. Yeah, it's very nice. I shall answer that. I shall reply. Yeah,
but because I'm keeping the chat going. It's not you, it's me.
Who's the back door? Yeah. Well, ask Virgil van Dijk who the back door is.
Oh, Tottenham scored 1.
And the thing is, as well, I think another thing Liverpool should do, and you're not going to agree with me on this, Harold, but I've said it before, they need to stop playing in fucking green.
Yeah, but
they need to stop. They need to, Adidas or whoever it is, stop making green kits for us, because we never win in green. We never win it. Honestly, it's shambolic. It's awful. They could have worn the E-Crew kit tonight. Yeah, I know. I wouldn't wipe my ass on that. I wouldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't. And it wouldn't borrow it to you either way.
That's an expensive toilet roll. That.
It's a good one, lad. It's a good one.
You know, but I mean, joking aside, I mean, it's just frustrating that apparently we've got this love affair with this competition, and then we turn up like we did again tonight. I mean,
this has nothing to do with the competition. This has to do with that we are been shit all year, and the players don't trust the manager anymore. And that will affect any tournament we play. And we see the result of that as well. We're going to get kicked out against Shitty. And we have no chance in the Champions League. And I don't think we're going to get top 5.
No. I don't think we will. I've said it. I've said it. I mean, if you two can convince me otherwise, yeah, that's a friend of mine who's a Liverpool fan. He thinks because of how we're playing, I'll be smashing the back door. And
have you told the missus?
Well, she paid for the back door, so. But if you two, if either you or Ben can explain to me how we finish in the top 5, I know what Ben's going to say before he says it. We shouldn't have to be relying on Villa or Chelsea capitulating, but I just can't see how we finish in the top 5. I just can't. Not with the way we're playing, even though we have got Spurs next.
I've already said how we're going to happen.
Aston Villa.
Say it again.
Aston Villa.
Mm-hmm.
But make no mistake here, Aldo. I don't believe we're going to turn up on Sunday or next Champions League game and play tiki-taka, Barcelona, prime as AC Milan football, anything like that.
No.
But I still think that we deep inside have the quality to play decent enough amount of games to get the points we need.
Exactly. That's why I put so much blame on squad. The squad is more than good enough to secure top 5. It's more than good enough to go always to go. That's why I know.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that one. But it doesn't mean we get to utilize that quality, because so far we haven't.
But surely the question has to be asked. We know we've got the quality. We know we've got the talent. Why? They're supposed to be professional footballers. So why are they going out and putting in performances like that when it's pretty obvious they don't trust the coach and his coaching staff any longer? But you've still got to go out and do your job and put performances in, and they're not doing. So why are they not being pulled up about it?
Yeah, but that is if you ask, if you give a player or an employee a task to do that is not qualified to do, then it will be a poor result. If you have Messi in his prime and you use him as a target man like you did Shearer, he's going to suck. And that is, it looks like we're trying to use quality in the players that they don't possess. He's using the players wrong, and that's why it looks like they can't do the job. That's my opinion.
And it's like Ben said last time we were talking about Etatike. I mean, look at the chances he had with headers tonight, and he couldn't put them in an area where basically the keeper wouldn't have been able to get to it. For a striker, it's poor, that, you know.
Some of the headed chances in that game, particularly the denied me, was the one where we was 1-on-1 and he took it to shoot. That was the one that got me like, that's meant to be up bread and butter there. Come on, man. I can understand headers.
He had one decent header today, and that was under pressure. And for Hugo Ekitike, that was a good header. Usually it's shit at the target.
With headers, I can understand. You can't. It's hard to.
So what would you change for the return leg, Ben? Either system wise or playing or personnel wise, what would you change?
I'd give Ahmad Ashbili the second leg as well. To be honest, I don't think he deserves to be dropped.
I agree.
I'd give Ahmad Ashbili the Spurs game, let Alisson rest, make sure it's a non-issue.
Would you?
I'll give him the fucking rest of the season.
Yeah, if he wants to. What I'd do, is Frimpong right back.
Yeah.
Salah get another game. We don't have many other options. I'd start at Gakpo, and then in the midfield, Jones, Szoboszlai, and Wirtz.
Okay.
That's what I'd do. Get your energy, get your pace, get your power, and your creativity. Kirkes stays left back.
Yeah.
And then Kanate, Van Dijk centre back, and Ekitike striker.
Right. What would you change, Alred?
Everything else that he said. No, I want Mama to play as well. I agree with the concept that it says that he would like Frimpong as right back, but since we don't do overlaps and we haven't done that since the first year or something that Trent was here, it's no point in having a fast play on the right back because we don't utilize it. So in my opinion, I would the back four the same, goalkeeper the same. I would have Frimpong on the right. Alternatively, as I said, try something new. Have the left foot for crosses on Salah on the left wing for once. We don't have any options in the striker position. That has to be no header Hugo. In the midfielder, I agree with Ben. It's Gravenberch, Dominic Szoboszlai, and Wirtz. That's.
I didn't say Gravenberch. I don't think Gravenberch deserves to start next week.
Okay, who would you say then instead of Gravenberch?
Jones.
All right. This is a very good option as well. Rio could play on the left wing, but yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, I can understand why he didn't start tonight.
Rio, oh yeah, he couldn't start tonight.
Yeah, I wouldn't start him there tonight. I agree with that. But I would start him. I would start him in the home leg.
Or the Spurs game.
Right.
I think my eyes need Rio to start for Spurs because whatever that was falling beyond belief.
And the thing is as well, this is a concern for me here, guys. If we get past Galatasaray, what she can
when we get past Galatasaray,
if we get past Galatasaray, what are you concerned about the way we played tonight? Are you concerned about Chelsea or PSG, whoever we play?
I'm not concerned about Chelsea. PSG. I did a video on TikTok earlier, and PSG haven't impressed me this season.
Well, the thing is with PSG, I think once they get their players back, people are forgetting what they did. They did the same last year, and then they beat City, they beat us, they beat Villa, they beat Arsenal and Bayern Munich. They just click, and they can do it again.
Yeah, but they've got the players. These players are
get the players back, and PSG will be fine.
I mean,
we won the league last year with these players, and look at us now. So.
Well,
yeah, but there's no guarantee. That's my point.
No, there you go. I mean,
but I'm not. I'm also like Ben. I'm not worried about PSG or Chelsea, but for quite different reasons. Because I think if we get past and when we get past Galatasaray, I think we're going to get kicked out no matter who we meet in the next round.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried because I look at that as 100% taken and given. So. I've come to terms with it, to be more precise.
With the quality of squad that we've got, it's frustrating when you see us play like we did tonight. But it just if you look at the bench, the bench is so weak. We
don't have a bench.
When you consider how much we spent in the summer, which people keep banging on about, but for the outlay which they spent. It's just so annoying and frustrating, and it's we're making too many basic mistakes. I don't know what you think.
Well, that was kind of what worried me now because the amount of mistakes we made today was a flashback to September, October, and November. It was like kind of a flashback. We haven't done that amount of mistakes in a while, in my opinion. So that was a worry that we could fall back to that one again.
Yeah, but how do you change it?
by getting a new manager.
So would you make? I know it's not going to happen, but I'm going to ask the question: would you make the change now, or would you wait until summer?
Yep. Now, let him have until the summer to get to know the team, the squad, the depth, and the quality, and then he can make. Yeah, and okay, lack of depth, but let him use this as a kind of preseason, and when the summer comes, we know what we need according to his style of play. If he's coming in whoever it is comes in June, and then you have to suddenly make all the changes based on what, the World Cup.
You know, when you said whoever it is, you know who's coming in June. Every man and his dog knows who's coming in. My only concern is, will the style of football be any different? I don't think it will.
I mean,
I think it will.
the only thing Alonso has to do is get a click out of Ekitike and Verts. Something Slots can't seem to do. All he has to do is make Van Dijk and Konate as a partnership look semi-decent. Something Slots managed to make look a tough challenge.
I mean, if there is a plus point to Alonso coming in, at least Ekitike and Verts know what he wants from them and how he wants them to play. You know, because they pulled up trees for him when he was at Leverkusen. But
Ekitike was at Frankfurt.
But at least Verts knows what Alonso wants from him. So, but I just think, we've all said it for. I think we've all said it for a long time. I think the lads in the dressing room, they need a new voice, don't they?
Also, Alonso command respect, because the fans will absolutely back Alonso over any of these players. So, like,
and sometimes, as you said, sometimes you just need another voice. We've talked about interim manager as well earlier on in this season.
Yeah.
And I meant that would be but that was a good suggestion when Alonso wasn't available. But now he is, and if he's the future. I mean, don't wait. I mean, let him get him in, let him have the rest of the season as a warm up to see what he needs to strengthen and qualities and blah 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 blah, and then have a good summer transfer window instead of getting both in the same door and having short amount of time.
Thing is, though, it's quite obvious what this squad's needs. Obviously, it's not going to need staff, is it? What we need, though, is we need a right winger, we need another midfielder, and we need probably a right back, maybe and a few other things.
But here is a question I have now. Sorry to jump on your hosting here, Aldo. But
that's the question.
I read somewhere that the club said no to bringing back Hertinga, or what's his name?
Oh yeah. It was blocked.
Yeah, that's
why?
That's a clear sign. That's a clear sign of this.
Yeah, it was blocked because Slot wanted him back, and the move's been blocked. So that's if that's not telling you that Slot's gone in the summer, then I don't know what is.
Yeah, but the point is, don't you want to save the season?
Well,
I think it's not going to save our season. Let's be serious.
But it couldn't get any worse now, could it?
No. Well, it could. Well, I mean,
no. If you get 7 or 10, it doesn't really matter.
The thing is, I mean, here's my question to you. So we're in two competitions, right? We're in the Champions League and we're in the FA Cup. Now, don't let your heart rule your head. Do you honestly think that we will win any of those competitions we're in
this year?
Yeah.
No.
I'm of the opinion that I do believe we can get through to the next round of both competitions, but it just feels like it doesn't matter at this point, even if we do get to the next round.
Yeah, that's my point. I don't think we're going to win. I think.
All I will say is I have a lot more confidence of beating PSG than I do beating Chelsea, because
but even though, let's say we beat PSG or Chelsea or whatever,
fine.
You don't think we're going to go all the way?
If we go all the way, I'll do laps around the Strand.
Yeah, butt naked on a zebra.
Okay, so who do you think's winning the Champions League this year?
I said Bayern Munich.
Yeah, I think
I don't care.
You said Arsenal, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I said Arsenal. I don't care.
I don't think Harold will like me except for Bodo Baggins to go to the next round.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be exciting to see how they do tomorrow.
Well, you know, I wouldn't. When you look at both sides of the draw, I wouldn't rule Barcelona out. You know,
It's the high line for me. I think they play too much chaos football.
I mean that's a fair point. If we play like we played tonight, we'll get terrorised by PSG. That's a fair point from Lewis. Would you agree or disagree with that, guys?
I think if we play like we played tonight, we'll get terrorised by half the teams in the world. Let's be serious here.
Just half?
I'm being generous.
Okay.
But the thing is, yeah, we physically can't be much worse than that. Even for our standards.
The problem is we're playing our performance when you look at the season as a whole is poor. And when you then fill a game with so many personal errors like we did today, it has no chance in hell to survive.
Yeah. The thing is, I just think our players, it's a Turkey thing because we went to Frankfurt, which is a good atmosphere. We went to Marseille, which is a good atmosphere, and we won both games comfortably. I just think it's this, and this isn't a knock on Turkey, on Galaxy. The atmosphere was good, but I don't think having speakers down here for 90 minutes is helping us.
No.
And people can say it's not speakers. I beg to differ because there's no way any stadium can boo for 94 minutes every time the opposition has the ball. Bear in mind, we had the ball for like 80% of that game.
The only time they stop whistling is when they don't have possession. When they have possession,
and you hear the whistling before there's any players on the pitch or when there's no fans in the stadium. It's so obvious. It's speakers. It's a manufactured atmosphere. It's a good atmosphere. It's manufactured.
I agree. Nobody can boo that long for 90 minutes without slipping up once or levels dropping or whatever. I agree.
Unless the entire Rams Park atmosphere has N'Golo Kante level stamina, then it's
but no. Steroids, maybe.
Maybe.
And again, it is Turkey, and you never know. Or Turks are juiced up.
Well, yeah. I was going to say it depends what they're smoking.
Yeah, they just sacrificed a goat or something, so everybody's got pumped up.
Juiced up on doner kebab.
The most frustrating thing for me is when you look at the quality of personnel we've got what are playing for us, from to play so below par, so consistently,
and doing so many errors.
Yeah, and the errors they're making are so basic that you'd see it in Sunday League football. It's just surely the powers that be have got to be asking questions about Slot now. It's no good saying, "Oh, well, we'll give him time." He's had time. He's had all season,
and that is and this is also one thing is doing a single error. I mean, everybody can do that, but the point is we make a lot of errors because we try to pass the ball to know where nobody is.
Yeah.
When there comes a long ball, it doesn't look like they know who's going to do what. So we get two men on the ball or nobody on the ball. Well, and that is the tactical dispositions or the way they're telling the players to act. They don't know who's going to do what.
Did you see that when Szoboszlai had the ball in midfield, and instead of him playing the pass to the right to McAllister, he turned back on himself, was facing Van Dijk, and ended up losing possession, and we could have conceded again off it. It was crazy. I think Osimhen lost the ball twice and regained it.
And that in my opinion comes because the jobs and the duties that you're being told to do are not clear and obvious enough.
One day there's going to be a big conversation on Ryan Gravenberch, but I'm starting to lose a lot of patience with him. Yeah, but Gravenberch isn't good at passing. He's not the best at defending. The best thing he offers is half turns under pressure. But even then, most teams have figured him out with that. He's genuinely becoming a neck nerd. He's slowly, but very slowly, is becoming very fastly, becoming a net negative in this system.
Yeah, but that's the point. When the team played on his strengths, he did a good job. But if Arne Slot then tells him to do this, this, and this, and he doesn't have the capabilities, they have an issue. Now, if you remember in the 90s, although I don't know if Ben remembers, we had a Norwegian team at Rosenborg.
Also, I'm not going to remember Rosenborg.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 90s, Rosenborg. They played, they won against AC Milan away. They qualified for Champions League and did well there as well.
Yeah.
And they didn't have good players compared to the rest of Europe, but they had a good system.
Yeah.
And that's the when players from Rosenborg went, and that is happening to Bodø/Glimt now as well. When players leave that system and goes out into Europe, they don't have the personal quality enough to be good in their new team because they work in a system.
Yeah.
And that he had to go now. And that is my issue. That's my point. When you're good in this system, you know what to do. You know where to. If the team has the ball there, you're going to be there. If the team has the ball there, you're going to do this.
Yeah.
If you know what you're going to do, you will have no issues. But it looks like we don't know what the fuck we're going to do when we have the ball or don't have the ball.
No, I mean basically from 1 to 11, each player has got a specific job to do, and you go out there and you do your job to the best of your ability. You don't keep basically making a pig's ear of it like they are doing at the moment. You know.
Yeah, but if they don't know what they're supposed to do, it's going to look like this.
I mean, there's no communication. They're not talking to each other at all either.
Huh?
You know, especially the back four. Now, you know, and Virgil's got to be culpable for that because he's wearing the armband. When you're captain, when you cross that white line, when you leave the changing room and you cross that white line and you're wearing that armband, you're the man responsible for what goes wrong on that park. And Virgil van Dijk's got to step up and do his job now, and he's not doing it as captain.
Can you see any of the players doing that poor performance when Gerrard or Carragher was captain?
No, because they get told.
Yeah, because those players led by example. Now Carragher was never the best defender in the world, but you can never question his sacrifice and effort he put into the game.
Did you see anybody doing that when Alan Hansen was captain?
No.
Or Phil Thompson?
No.
Or Phil Neal?
Or Souness?
Yeah.
So the point is, when you have a leader that leads by example, no matter how good or bad you really are, but you're trying, you throw yourself, you run every time and everything like that. And instead now we have this 18 bloke who's been good and now standing and complaining and twerking his ass and everything like that, and I'm just so sick and tired of. And we saw a lot of situation on our right side when suddenly both Gomez and Konate went for the ball, and then one slipped and one didn't know when. That doesn't happen if you have clear instructions on where you're supposed to be, who's going to do this, who's going to mark that. If you have all these instructions plain and clear and had them for 2 years, you don't do this shit.
No.
Plain and simple.
Exactly. But the thing is, the key question now is they've got to put this right and fast.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it as long as the manager's here. They're sick of him, like I am.
Yeah, they're sick of him. But the thing is, everybody's saying that Liverpool can win the Champions League. Well, go out there and prove it.
Yeah, but I don't think the players are saying it.
But if they don't believe it, then why are they taking part?
Because they're getting paid and have to show up.
You know, so I mean, you've seen the same thing as me. I know Galatasaray won't have any fans at Anfield next week, but that won't make any difference for me. I just can't see us progressing.
I think if we've gotten 2 against, it will be more difficult. But 1 is more than doable.
You know, but I think if we don't progress, could they then? If let's say for conversation's sake, Galatasaray score next week and they win 2-0 on overall, so they win 1-0 at Anfield. So Liverpool go out at the last 16. Do they actually pull the trigger then because they're not in the champion? They're out the last 16, and they're not guaranteed to qualify for the competition next year.
Well, they should have pulled the trigger after Arsenal game, in my opinion. But why do you think they should?
You know something? I would go along with what Ben suggested and what you suggested, and I would relieve Slot of his duties, and I would bring Gerrard in till the end of the season, and then bring Alonso in the summer.
Yeah, but
because under Gerrard, yeah, he might not be. They'd respect what he says, and they'd play for the shirt. And I'm not tactically, he might not be the best manager, but you've got somebody there who will get a tune out of a squad of players.
Yeah, I mean, I think it still would, as the situation is, and if Alonso is the next man in, and he's willing to come now, I think we should get him in right away, and he can have the rest of the season to find out, as I said, what he wants and what he needs and all that. But if they want to go over the interim with Gerrard and maybe Torres or whatever they want to do, I don't care. Just we need to get this Hodgson 0.20 idiot out of the team. I'm so sick and tired of him.
I mean, the thing is, Alred, as well, looking at this game tonight, it concerns me. Not for the return leg, but it concerns me in the performances we've got in the Premier League, because we've got to play Villa, Chelsea, and United.
Yeah, and the most concerning thing is the excuses are out of the way, because we don't have the injuries we did. We still have some of them, but we're not worse off than any other team, to be honest. And I mean, the low block speaking stupid thing, whatever, it is his job to figure it out. If you can't figure it out, you are at a level you're not good enough to be in. Bye.
Yeah, I mean, so, I think it's worrying.
I think I'm going to see every game, and I'm going to be hopeful every game, sort of.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. The only game I'm confident for at the minute is probably Sunday.
Yeah,
because we are, with just speaking not as a Liverpool fan for a moment, but from a football point of view, we are playing a team on Sunday who are in absolute free fall. You know, we said that the players don't trust Ernie Slot. Well, we're also coming up against a team who are not listening to Igor Tudor either in Tottenham. You know, so you've got 2 clubs there that are not listening to the coaches, and that's a sad indictment on the Premier League for me.
Yeah, but Spurs have been Spurs, to be honest. They have managed just. It looks like they kind of picked anybody from the street and hey, you want a job?
Yeah,
so, I mean, I don't think we are doing quite like that. But
no, I mean the thing is, I've watched a lot of podcasts and listened to a lot of Spurs fans over the last 2 weeks, and I've not. There's not one Tottenham fan, ex-player as well. They put their hand on their heart and they said, "Listen, we can't tell you when we're going to get our next point or when we're going to win our next game," because they've all turned around and said, "Look at it, we're in March now, and we've not won since December."
No, but for every game you lose, you're closer to the one you win.
You know, so I mean,
but I just want the season to be over.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I'm not looking forward to the World Cup the way things are at the minute. I just want a break from it all.
Yeah,
I might start watching ice hockey.
I'll give you a couple of good pointers there, although. But when and the World Cup in that crazy, stupid country that United States is that way. I'm not sure I'm going to watch much of that as well, because I need a break as well from football, and boycotting the World Cup in that stupid orange fruitcake basket idiot management. I mean, it's a good thing to do anyway. So
yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, I've got a friend who came over the other day. He's bought his ticket for. He's going to America for England's first game. So he's going to. He's going to. He's very lucky. He's fulfilling one of my dreams. England's first game is in Dallas, and he's going to the AT&T Stadium, which is the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm just looking at the scores from tonight. Newcastle are still 0-0 with Barcelona.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid, it's half-time 4-1. Bayern Munich are 3-0 up. And then we know the other result from earlier on tonight. 6:15 kickoff UK time, 7:45 their time in Turkey. Liverpool did the usual thing and got beat again. But we have to hope that the lads are, whether they're flying straight, they'll probably fly back tonight, won't they?
Yeah, I think they will.
I just hope when they get on that plane back to the John Lennon Airport in Liverpool that they're all extremely pissed off and as fed up as we are.
I hope there's no room for Slot on that plane. He can stay there. A shorter trip for him to Ibiza.
He might be in the baggage compartment.
But I gotta go, my brother.
Okay, mate. Anyhow, so if you want to, we will do a stream on Friday night, looking at the Tottenham game.
Yeah, I'll have to check my calendar, but
looking at the Tottenham game and the plight of Tottenham Hotspur, and ask the implausible question: could the 9th richest club in football get relegated?
They would have the best stadium in the championship. There's no doubt about
that. Also, as a neutral, I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to save it till Friday because I think it's a really good question.
Cliffhanger there.
All right. So for me and Alred and Ben who had to leave us, we'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hit the like and subscribe button. Follow my friend the Norwegian Man on TikTok. His content is amazing, and he should have more followers than what he's got because he talks all the sense except when he speaks to me. But my brother Alred, I will see you soon. Take care and good night from me.
Good night, everybody.